Hello and welcome! Back before Star Wars was bought by Disney, a Star Wars game could be made by anyone and the quality could vary. But when the game was made by LucasArts themselves, the game's quality could still vary, but the story was almost always amazing. So what would happen when you had a game that was designed, written, and made by LucasArts, but the task was given to another company to port it to another system? Well, this is exactly what happened with the Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the PSP. Check out Robotipede from us at 16-Bit Games. It's a simple top-down shooter where you shoot at the Robotipede before it has a chance to get to the bottom. Watch out for the Disruptor and aim for a high score. It's available for free on Android and iOS, so check it out today. As I said at the beginning, The Force Unleashed is a LucasArts game where you are, and I'm quoting, kicking someone's ass with the Force. The main console version was made by LucasArts, and the only thing that the Australian developer Chrome Studios had to do was to port it to 3 different systems: the Wii, PlayStation 2, and the PSP. And you can easily see that with the aesthetics. The original game used 3 graphics engines to produce the game's visuals, animations, and interactions, whereas this game uses an in-house engine made by Chrome. As a result, the visuals do take a hit. The environments look good for the PSP, but are not very open, and often cramped. You lose a sense of scale once larger objects appear on the screen, and the player models look good while in play, but the minute you hit a cutscene, they look like low-poly Barbie dolls with articulating mouths. Imagine if I did the remainder of this review while talking like this. It's a bit distracting, isn't it? As a result, the story is deeply affected. Cutscenes which have a lot of personality is now somehow shallower. In fact, for some unknown reason to me, the original story, which in 2009 won the award for Best Video Game Writing from the Writers Guild of America, was shortened on all Chrome versions. And it's not like it's bad. All the highlights are there, but it doesn't feel the same. If it wasn't for the amazing voice acting from all the main characters, I feel that the story would have been ruined, or at least muddied enough that it wouldn't be the same. With that said, the Chrome versions of the game does have a consolation prize. It might not be as good as the console versions, but it does include sections which were cut from the original game, like various visits to the Jedi Temple, a bar on Nar Shaddaa, and a different plot on Bespin. All of this with the same voice quality, performance, as the original story. But something doesn't feel right. I remember playing this game when I was younger, and I loved it. In fact, I loved it more than the original. I remember playing this game more than the original. Maybe I'm looking at this game wrong. I mean, I'm treating it like a LucasArts game where the story is the focus, but maybe instead I can treat it like a third-party licensed game like Star Wars Battlefront or Star Wars Episode 3 for the DS, where the story is sort of second nature to the main focus, the gameplay. And once you look at this game from that perspective, it all becomes clear. This game, from the minute you start it, is completely drenched in pinpoint-focused gameplay. After playing it for a while, I was sucked right back into it. The combat feels amazing. The enemies have the right amount of variety. The customization is through the roof. And the quick time events might still be annoying, but it feels a little better. I find the levels feel more fleshed out. They might be small, but you can go from one combat encounter to the next with very little delay, keeping that ass-kicking action going. And this combat-centric game shows this even from the start menu. On consoles, all options are there to start or continue the story, whereas the PSP version has a Force Unleashed button at the top. Here you will find many more options which were desperately needed on the console versions, from simple combat arenas to endless enemy modes with Order 66, and a historic missions mode where you can reenact classic duels from the movies, turned up to 11. All this makes the game a lot more replayable and engaging. And if you wanted more, this version actually has multiplayer with up to 4 people. The only other Force Unleashed game with multiplayer is the Wii version that can only play up to 2. In short, The Force Unleashed is the best PSP Star Wars game, period. If you're more interested in the Force Unleashed award-winning stories, the console version is obviously better, but take it from me, if you want to kick some ass with the Force, even though the console version looks superior, the PSP version is definitely the way to go. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and take care.